Welcome back to the 2024 Memorial Championships at Fountain Hills Disc Golf Course. Myself, Jennifer Allen, Ohn Scoggins, Violet Main, and Hannah Stefanovich. We are the lead card, round 2, back 9. I am joined here today
by Katarina Staalesen Bjørkås
from Norway, and this beautiful eagle that we get to see occasionally.
Yeah.
Shout out to Terry Miller, the disc golf guy, for bringing this awesome coverage. We're on hole 10, 310 feet. This is a par 3. Little mando tree there on the right that doesn't usually come into play. And then the basket's kind of tucked underneath this olive tree on the right side. You got to get over that little bit of a hill. This is a fun FPO hole, I feel like. One that with a good drive we can reach.
Oh yeah, that's a great drive, Jennifer. Wow.
Cut
that's
through
really
there.
what you want to do on this hole.
Ohn going forehand and just want to get over that hill, and she does. So she's going to have, I think, right on circle 1.
Hannah also going with a turnover shot. Almost making it over the hill, but not quite.
Violet tends to have a lot of distance as well. I feel like this is a hole she can easily get to, but unfortunately she gets caught up in that small tree at the top.
Oh no! Oh, that's such a good bid.
After hitting a long save from the island hole in hole 4, those long putts were dialed in. Hannah almost getting the birdie.
Violet looking to give it a small bid, but a little low, staying inside bullseye. So
and
should be
Hannah running that because this is a very easily, a putt that no danger. We've had this whole front 9 of all the high risk baskets, and this one nice and flat, little hill behind. So no one really afraid to run it. Like, you want to be aggressive with this putt for sure. So I luckily got around that tree because putting behind it is very difficult.
So you get a great birdie on this one. And the 3 other ones have quite short tap-ins for par.
So tapping out some pars. Always have to relive those beautiful practice round shots that are always perfect. I feel you, Violet.
Hole 11 is a 368 feet par 3 hole. There's a Mando 2 on the right side. You have to go to the left of that one. There's OB on the road to the left. This bench area on the left side is also OB, and the basket is sitting right in between 2 palm trees.
Yeah, and where you land around those palm trees can sometimes really make, for no putt at the basket, even if you're almost inside bullseye.
So you look like you're pin high on your shot, but a bit too much to the right.
Yeah, it just didn't hyzer down like I thought it would. Was able to get this one yesterday, and it's one that we know we can sometimes get. You don't expect to. Good flex shot by Hannah. And hopefully where she can get a good look at it. What you have to be careful of is not getting the nose angle up too much or too stable of a disc that you're going to go over on the left side. Violet and I staying away from that left OB. We're going a little much to the right.
And Violet going pretty much straight at the basket. Getting a little bit past. Looks like she might have that tree to struggle with on her putt.
Yeah, it definitely 100% blocks the basket.
Yeah.
If you're directly behind it. Maybe a spike hyzer could get in. That's about it.
It's hard to spike highs putts.
Yeah, and this slope, if you hit it at all, you're gonna typically roll, if not OB, then all the way down there with a really long comeback. So that was kind of what I was going with. Like, do I give this a bid at all? Or do I just lay it up short? Like, I kind of really wanted to go for it, but it's such a risky putt with that slope behind.
So we see Violet went quite far past the basket and hitting that tree on her par attempt.
Yeah, and we're all pretty close, but still having to kind of shoot around that tree. Looks like it's been hit a time or two.
Yeah.
Hopefully it doesn't ever fall over one day.
No, this is a pretty iconic basket placement.
Yes.
So hopefully they stay.
Shout out to Spinners on the Green for putting on this event. Hole 12, 293 feet, par 3. You can take the big hyzer around that skinny palm on the right or try to a little bit more of a direct line, but the basket sits just over this hill. Pretty flat area, OB all along the back at the sidewalk. Anything that you can get over that ridge typically gives you a pretty good putt.
This looked pretty much like a textbook shot on this one.
Oh, spike hyzer with the Cayman. All of these, again, kind of feel like that 250 distance with the downhill slope. Kind of like our island shot. That's how I treat it.
Yeah. Ohn getting a skip on the top of that hill and skipping towards the basket.
Yeah, and we can't see, but we don't think that either of those had any kind of roll.
Hannah going on the outside, but close.
Very close. Gonna give her a big downhill. Big downhill putt at it still. It's kind of fun to putt from up on top.
This basket sits pretty low, so it's not too scary putting down on it, even though it's flat. Or you won't go too far past this basket anyway.
And the height of it, I think, is what you meant too, is a little bit lower than some of the other ones.
Yeah.
And Hannah's been looking good from circle 2. Almost! Like all over it from deep today.
Oh. It's a good bit from Violet as well.
So unfortunately that does leave her with a little bit of a comeback. Nothing her waffle putt can't handle.
I'm not about to make that mistake.
Duck thought that was funny, I guess.
Sounded like it. So both you and Ohn pretty much in the same spot. Your discs looked like they were pretty close.
Just outside bullseye, maybe.
Yeah.
Shout out to everyone who's walking around. That's actually PDGA number 76 and 83 over there watching. And they brought out PDGA number 4 son to get in some action as well today.
Then we have hole 13, which is 268 feet. It's a par 3. It's uphill with the elevated basket sitting just over this ridge. It's pretty, I almost want to say intimidating, this basket.
It is, especially if you go over that hill. So I've switched up. I used to go Firebird at it, but I dropped it back down to that Cayman to try to stay up on top.
Almost stayed on top.
Almost. It's so
But it's
hard to do.
Yeah, it's up close to the basket, so that's hopefully in
A range. I feel like you, I don't even know if you want to be underneath it. It's so high, actually.
yeah, no. On this one, if you go over the ridge, you don't want to be right underneath it. You almost
No.
can't reach up into the basket.
Young spectator out from Colorado to catch some of the FPO competition.
So Hannah and Violet staying on the side of the basket closer to the tee pad, not having the same elevation as you and Ohn would have to putt. Violet sinking this one like it's no problem at all.
Which is great to see. She had, missed a few low. Definitely don't want to miss this basket low. Kind of surprised that stayed as well. I mean, the ground's been pretty nice to us today. We can typically see quite a few rollaways on any of these holes.
It landed just flat on the
Perfectly
ground
flat,
and
yeah.
stayed there, so that's good.
Huge putt from Hannah as
Wow.
well. They're making
After
that
a few very close ones,
Yeah.
she really deserved this one. And
Yes, she
was a
did.
great attempt.
They were both like circle's edge, I think. I mean, those are huge putts at this big elevated basket. I
You
feel
have
like
this-
I'm 2 feet tall here. Like,
Yeah. This one is just up.
yeah.
It's even hard to like lift your arm that high and release the disc
It
up there.
honestly is. Like, I'm barely tall enough to go under. Like,
Yeah. And we saw there you had to like push the disc from the bottom up over
maybe they
to
could
get it out.
get us a ladder. Big shout out to all the local sponsors to get you this coverage. This is hole 14, 375 feet, par 3. Big downhill tee shot that you want to make sure you don't hyzer out too early. This one you can get a skip to find that OB sidewalk on the left. Pretty much safe on the right side. Sometimes you could get behind that electrical box and not have too much of a putt, but I knew that was trouble out of my hand. It was
Yeah.
a little too aggressive. If you're going to get that aggressive, I got to start it out more to the right. So barely rolling onto that sidewalk.
This area to the left of the basket, there's not too much grass there, so you will get a skip.
Yeah.
Hannah landing just on top of this ridge that follows almost all through back 9 here. And
Violet.
with a great,
Yeah, another
turnover
full
shot.
flex shot that just gave it a look. This is one of the 2 sidewalk tees that sometimes can be really difficult, not only with all the distractions of the cars. We love giving Ohn a hard time for she says she doesn't throw far when she's gained so much distance in the last couple of years. It's time she accepts it. She's a good thrower now, backhand, forehand. Hannah's been drilling them from distance, giving it another look.
She's closing these circle 2 putts. So Hannah's position and also Violet's, I would say, is pretty much where. Oh, that's also so close.
I tried
Wow.
so hard to save that par.
Yeah, it was a really good bid. So yeah, Hannah's and Violet's positions are where you want to be on this one. You want to be either on the left side or a bit short of the basket, because this tree and the electrical pole thing on the right side there is it can get in your way.
It definitely can. It's a fun putt if you get behind it directly behind the V. You know, that's a fun putt.
It will make for some good videos.
Yes. So unfortunately with that OB stroke, I'll be tapping in the bogey there. It's funny, I kept trying to decide if this was a blower. That's actually the construction drilling.
Yeah.
That's all the way up past 18, so that's so loud.
They made a lot of noise, they did. I think I didn't hear it too much while I was playing,
Yeah.
but
Definitely can hear it on here. This is a hole 15.
yes, it's 426 feet. It's another par 3. The basket sits here again on a slope. There's OB on this one, but it's far on the right and the left side, so it doesn't really come much into play. You really just want to get your disc as far out there as possible to give yourself either way an easy upshot or maybe also an attempt at the birdie putt.
Yeah, I think you can just kind of decide, do I want to uphill approach or putt or a downhill? Kind of feel like the left side allows for a little bit more of a birdie look or an open putt.
Yeah.
Down in the lower area, sometimes you're blocked by that palm tree. So
those palm trees sits kind of on the right side and the far end of the basket, so being on the left side or up on the hill, you would have more of an open look right to the basket.
yeah, and I wanted to get pretty aggressive with this because I was able to snag this birdie yesterday, but I think I'm going to be blocked by that palm tree. No look today.
Violet with her upshot, opting for this left side. It was Hannah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That was Hannah opting for the left side, so she has an open look at the basket. Ohn unfortunately hitting the palm tree, getting a roll away. So,
and that can happen literally, I feel like on almost every hole. And I totally kind of forgot that had happened. And I just said that we hadn't seen too many rollaways. So a little bit of a jinx there. There's a good...
wasn't there. That was in the basket.
Yeah. And a nicer kick, which landed flat. I opted not even to attempt it. I'm just laying up there to the left side.
yeah, you pretty much have this palm tree blocking the whole basket for you. Ohn having an open look.
And this is a
around
fun one.
circle's edge.
Yeah, it's a fun putt to
great-
run.
Yeah, great putt. Being on this side, if it is open, you're not too afraid going for this one. You wouldn't go too far past. Of course, if you completely miss the basket, you can still hit the palm trees, get another roll, but
Or hitting low.
Or hitting low,
would roll
yeah.
back at you. But
Ohn
Ohn doesn't typically do that.
no problem for you guys.
And she loves the gallery. So she's typically, I feel like, always gets that little extra motivation to nail it, to make sure everyone's enjoying
Yeah.
the action.
Yes. So, all of you in for par on this hole 15.
Shout out to Six Sided Disc. I believe that's a local podcast. Hole 16, 327 foot, par 3. You do have two Mandos, one right off the tee, one up here on the left side that you must go between. Hoping if you're a right-hand backhand thrower that your disc hyzers over there towards the basket. It is a little difficult of a hole if you go over that ridge to kind of putt back. So mostly trying to land on the right side. Great line by Violet. Getting even a little skip, circling the pole.
This grass has been really sticky.
Yes,
both
it
these
always
days.
is.
So you cannot count on any skip on this one. If you want to get over to the basket, you have to really push this mando tree that we see on the left side.
Or have a lot of angle, a lot of hyzer. Getting enough air on it to let that disc go over to the left.
Yeah, that's pretty much how you want to do it. Hannah with another attempt from circle 2. Again, tracking the basket.
Yes, it's
Just a little short.
some days those putts are just on, and they are for Hannah today.
Oh.
That's close. Have to be a little.
And you're in for birdie?
Yes,
So seemed pretty stress-free.
it is. I'm trying to learn to take my time, though.
That's important.
It is. Keep
Yeah.
the same routine.
I am waiting.
And now we'll let Violet putt that tap in. Violet always coming with the comedy and the fun play.
Yeah, putting on a show for us.
She loves it.
Then we have hole 17. I was going for the meters now. It's a 468 feet par 3 hole. There's OB on this one as well on the left side on the path walk and then long of the basket. This again doesn't come too much into play if you just keep your disc low. Violet.
We might have had a little bit of a wait, and Violet's like, I want to roll down this hill. I'm like, well, do it.
And she did this before her throw.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Of
one way to
course.
warm up.
It's called being young.
It looked a lot of fun.
It
It
was.
did. I wish I saw that.
Well, thanks to our incredible camera guy,
I'm dizzy.
Yeah.
Dustin, for capturing that for us. And with the beautiful fountain on. This is the iconic hole to throw with the fountain.
Yeah.
Violet getting a huge crush. This is a hard birdie for any of us to get. I was just looking. Violet and I were the only twos on 16, and that I think is a little surprising. I think that's a hole that we can attack a little bit better. So I
Yeah.
was shocked to see that. Thought I'd bring it back up. My
We're-
disc pushing over with that wind off the fountain a little bit too much.
This is looking very good.
Yeah, nice
Just
flight.
Smooth, a nice drive far down the fairway. And Ohn opting for the forehand.
She gets such great carry with that when she
Yeah.
pulls it over so far. Super stable disc, always finishes back to the right for her. And just a nice soft approach. And I feel like that's how most of the FPO field plays it, trying to get a nice, good, straight drive and approach.
Yeah.
Sometimes getting stuck behind the palm trees. That was I think my max distance for a jump putt. I was about 145
Yeah, I was going to
feet.
comment on that one. That was a long jump putt.
It was
And you
145
put all
feet.
of your body into that one.
I
but
had
it ended right by
to.
the basket.
I had to hyzer it
great.
around that palm tree. And I felt like if I tried to backhand it or throw any other kind of hyzer, I'd probably go too far. So
So
worked
all
out.
of the upshots pretty close to the basket. There is one there. It's either Violet or Hannah who might have to struggle a bit with this palm tree again, but we'll
she'll-
see how
left
she
or
solves it.
right? And goes on the left side.
Yeah.
I believe you hear Violet talking about, and that big yell was because somebody might have threw it in on 18.
Yeah. I ended my round with a throw-in from around 50 meters, which is 170 feet, I think.
Definitely was from way back as we all walk up to quickly see how far you were back there. So here we are at that hole, 18, 400 feet, par 3, water all along the left side. You can also try to stay away from that water and find the OB up on the right side as well. This is, as you can see, one of the holes that does have more dirt showing, so skips can easily go into the OB pond.
Yeah, so Violet's disc just stick to the ground.
Yeah, low, safe, middle. Gonna
Yeah.
have to take a second shot to get there.
Of course, you would like to be close to the basket after your first shot, but most important on this one is just keeping it in bounds. It's a long hole, and with the water all the way, it's a hard birdie. As you said, I had the only birdie.
I believe you were the
on
only
this
birdie
one.
of the day, yes. Not too many of
Of
the
course,
women
we have to
reaching.
see what you guys do. Yeah.
I'll go ahead. Spoiler alert. Katarina was the only birdie of the day.
And I had to throw it in from 50 meters, so
I was able
hard
to
one.
get pretty close yesterday with that same line that I took, but I missed the tree yesterday. So I used to be aggressive and attack this with a turnover, but it's just really not worth it because not many of us birdie it. So I've changed up and went with a safer hyzer shot.
And Ohn stayed in bounds. It looked a little bit scary from the tee pad, but we see that there was plenty of room there.
And with that big downhill slope, that upshot is a little scary. You don't want to go, you know, past it. If you pass the basket at basket height, you could easily go in the water. I meant to go way to the right, and I think last second I was afraid of that tree.
Yeah, but that makes sense.
Never thought
Yeah.
about the tree warming up. Like Hannah, no tree in the way, perfect upshot.
So Hannah's upshot there is just what you want to do on this one. You want to put it
Absolutely.
under the basket. Don't have a putt on the last one. Just finish hole 18 with a par, and then
And get off the course. Get up
yeah.
to Euro Pizza and get some good food.
yeah. Good putt from Violet.
Yeah, all these sweet little people that are walking around and trying to figure out what we're doing out here. So I had a gentleman who was very curious right behind the basket.
Oh, just snuck in.
Thought I took too long standing there looking at all the people now that I've noticed.
Yeah. And Ohn unfortunately missed her attempt for par, so she's in for a bogey.
And that's going to finish the second round here at Fountain Hills. 2 more rounds. We move over now to Vista del Camino. There we are with the leaderboard. Myself shooting 7 under today, ending up at 15 under. Violet jumping up there, tied for second with Ohn Scoggins at 9 down. And Hannah Stefanovich stays on the lead card at 5 down with Katarina, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, Katarina at
okay.
-4. So tough battle to get on the lead card.